Biden is also hosting a press conference this week on nutrition and health, the first by the White House since 1969. So this conference will also highlight the need for access to better food, healthier food, and exercise. Over the years, cuts to federal programs, coupled with stigmas over welfare and big changes to how food was made, has also caused a decline in access to food. According to the FDA, around 10% of households in the United States have suffered from food insecurity, meaning they were certain they could not get enough food to feed themselves or their family because they lacked money. And under the White House plan, SNAP program eligibility will be expanded. Children will get better access to free meals, and summer benefits will be extended to more school children.
This is the gentleman from Connecticut. Seek recognition.
To rise and extend my remarks and to compliment you, Madam Speaker Bordeaux, on your service to this great nation of ours. I have very much enjoyed the privilege and honor of serving with you. I also wanted to rise and thank the clerk's office for all the work that you do day in and day out. Pardon?
Is the gentleman seeking to address the House for 1 minute?
Yes, I am. I seek to
objection, the gentleman is
revise and
recognized
extend
for
my
1 minute.
remarks and repeat again, Madam Speaker, how much I have enjoyed working with Speaker Bordeaux and for her service to her country.
I know many Americans have been anxiously waiting for Congress to approve new pieces of legislation that will boost the monthly benefit payments. Nearly 9 in 10 Americans ages 65 and older currently receive the Social Security benefits, and the program represents an important source of income for the vast majority of those beneficiaries. So for that reason, many seniors on Social Security are awaiting 2 important pieces of information. The first is the COLA for 2023, and the second is the Medicare Part B premium for 2023. The Social Security Administration implements a COLA each year to protect the buying power of benefits from inflation, but the Social Security Administration system is not perfect, and for instance, it enacted a 5.9% COLA in 2022, but inflation has topped 5.9% every month since that decision was made, meaning seniors effectively took a pay cut this year. On the bright side, the Senior Citizens League estimates that seniors will receive an estimated 8.7% of COLA in 2023. That's the largest COLA in the last 40 years. In that scenario, the average retired worker will receive an extra $145 a month. However, the official COLA cannot be calculated until December, and so inflation data is not available yet. The average monthly Social Security benefits for retirees was recently around $1,600, or about $20,000 per year, and that average is around $1,700, and so this is plenty of money for people to collect for fuel and pay their bills. But a new proposal would also change the way the benefits are calculated and potentially putting more money into the pockets of beneficiaries. Democratic Representative John Larson has introduced a legislation called Social Security 2011. Its new bill, everybody, would also, among other things, would discontinue the use of the CPIW to determine your Social Security benefits. Instead, the bill would also change the calculations based on the Consumer Price Index for elderly, which places greater emphasis on the cost for food, housing, medical and apparel and medical care. The bill would also provide a benefit bump for current and new Social Security beneficiaries, including those who are receiving retirement, disability, or dependent benefits. The Department of Finance is now working on getting relief for the next round of people who may have been exempt from filing due to income level, pension, or Social Security. State officials have said, using databases, we will send out more checks between now and the middle of October. And my hope is that we may get another 50 to 100,000 additional checks using these methods. The state suggests that anyone who has not received a check to find out if theirs has been mailed and to review the current criteria for residents receiving a second round of rebate. Now, a huge monthly benefit boost, everybody, is coming to everybody for Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. So eligible Americans may receive hundreds of dollars extra every month, and President Biden has announced that he will be making several important changes to Social Security and Medicare.
The President has a plan to address that. Securing our border is part of our security, to protect and defend our country. Let there be no doubt. I don't respond to those kind of questions. I mean, with all due respect, I'll respect to your question at the end, but not to his comments, because I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if he does. But the fact is...
So today, President Biden put a spotlight on Medicare and Social Security and 2 hot-button issues that could pack a political punch 6 weeks before the midterm elections. His remarks at the White House were delivered after the popular programs got little attention and House Republicans rolled out of the agenda that they promised to pursue. If voters give them control in November, both Medicare and Social Security face long-run financing problems. Democrats propose solutions that are generally focused on increasing taxes on higher income earners. And Republicans say that Democrats are planning a further strain in Medicare through recent efforts to lower prescription costs. Many Republicans have backed raising the eligibility age for Medicare and the retirement age for Social Security as a part of the plan to keep these programs solvent without hiking taxes. And because the government is paying out more than Social Security benefits than it is collecting in taxes, it's projected to run out of reserves to fully fund the benefits in 2035. The Medicare Trust Fund, which covers inpatient hospital services, will only be able to pay around 90% of scheduled benefits after 2028. The Commitment to America House Republicans announced last week promises to save and strengthen Social Security and Medicare without specifying how. Democrats have also criticized a proposal by Senator Rick Scott to require the federal legislation to be renewed every 5 years. But Senator Scott said he wants to fix and preserve those programs. A bill sponsored by nearly all House Democrats would increase Social Security benefits in various ways and apply the payroll tax for the first time on wages about $400,000 and up. But most of the new benefits would be temporary, and the increased taxes would only be for an extra 4 years of insolvency for the president is also placing an emphasis on reducing the deficit, which is the gap between what the nation spends and what it takes in. This is in order to blunt Republican criticism that the $1.9 trillion relief package has left the U.S. economy worse off. Strong job gains over the past 6 months, 16 months have increased total incomes and led to additional tax revenues. That means that this fiscal year's budget deficit will decline $1.5 trillion, much better than the $1.3 trillion that was initially forecasted. Folks, we have a ton of good news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and Ssdi. Continue watching this video because you definitely don't want to miss out on this. President Biden is signing a new executive order, and the Biden administration has released a new announcement regarding stimulus checks. The top Democrats are pushing for the fourth stimulus package to be passed soon, so we have a ton of good news on this. Federal and state legislation to send rebates or stimulus checks directly to Americans have been introduced. Top Democrats are pushing for immediate action to be help the American people. And U.S. Representatives Mike Thompson and Lauren Underwood have introduced the Gas Rebate Act of 2022, which would send monthly payments of $100 to Americans where the average gas price is higher than $4 per gallon. The program will begin to phase out for individuals earning more than $75,000 and couples earning more than $150,000, and phase out entirely for individuals with an income of more than $80,000 and couples earning more than $160,000 per year. In a statement announcing the proposed legislation, Thompson called it a common-sense policy solution to the financial burden that constituents are feeling. But not everyone agrees that a tax rebate limit the impact of high gas prices on the economy. Federal policy analysts have told CNN that tax rebates may not solve the